long road running towards the horizon, forests, plains, fields, lakes, and forests again. I think I was sleeping, but how then can I remember all of it? And then, a gap. Some girl leaning over me. She's softly whispering something to my ear. Then a gap again. Then I woke up here. Who is that strange girl? Or was she just a dream? For some reason, thinking about her made me feel better and calmed me down a little. I felt warmth all over, coming from the inside. Oh gosh. Could it be her who brought me here? Then I need to find her. And the best way to look for her is to get away from here. I rushed to the left, then to the right, then stopped hesitating where to go and finally ran in the direction where the bus probably came from. Physical exercise does refresh one's mind, thoughts become clearer, and it gets a little easier to evaluate the surrounding reality. Not in my case, however. I was sitting on the roadside, wheezing and trying to ease my sore throat by gulping hot air. In any case, the road did its work. The fear withdrew for a while. Maybe I'm really just dreaming. Though after recalling my self-harm, I immediately rejected the idea. So I'm gonna call this guy Simon. I am neither dreaming nor dead. A narrow road was running through the field and far into the distance. That exact road from my dream. I must be very far away from home. And it is not that it was winter yesterday, and it is complete summer now. It is about the environment. Of course, the summer is usually like that, green and hot, but here everything is not just like in real life. Everything looks like it was taken from the paintings of Russian landscape artists in the 19th century. The grass is just too lush. The bushes are not like what bushes should be, and they're so thick you can't see anything through them. Like the treetops, honestly. Like treetops, honestly. Okay. And the trees themselves? The forest was quite far away, but the trees looked as if they had closed their even ranks and were now just waiting for an order to advance into the fields and plains. Looks like Kansas. I caught my breath and looked at the bus, which was now barely visible. That was a good run. Fear took over me once again. And those power lines. There must be people here. But what does it mean? In fact, that means nothing at all. Even hell can have power lines? Question mark? Baking and roasting the sinners is too old-fashioned. I must have reached the point of no return, after which you should either lose your mind completely or finally try to understand what is going on. And while I still have the choice, I should rather pick the second option. I slowly headed back to the bus. Of course, it was frightening. But I'm not likely to find an answer in the roads or woods, and this wretched bucket of screws is the only kind of link that I have with the real world. I should carefully scout the area. Savoynik means owlet. A brick wall and its gates crowned with Savoynik sign. Statues of pioneers at the sides and a road sign nearby show the bus route number 410. Oh. The trip is taking a bit too long today. I smirked. A person may start acting inadequately in extreme situations. Something like is probably happening to me now. This place didn't look abandoned at all. No rust on the gates, no damage on the walls. Savoynik. What could have a name like that? Judging by the pioneer status, it could be a kids' camp. And this camp seems to be working. Of course, the simplest explanation logically explains nothing at all. The strange girl, the altered bus, summer, the pioneer camp. Thousands of theories went through my mind instantly, from alien abduction to lethargic sleep, from hallucination to time and space shift. None was worse than the other, but there was really no way to pick a single one. Then it all came to me. I can try to make a phone call. I took out my cell phone and dialed the first number from my contact list. Well, looks like your cell phone's not in service. But instead of signal strength bars, the screen was showing a thick cross. Alright, there may be no signal in such a backward country place, though I cannot be the only one who got here. Buses don't go on their own. And the bus was empty. I checked the bus from all sides to make sure that it wasn't a hallucination. Bits of dirt on the bottom, some rust here and there, faded out paint and worn out tires. No, this is definitely a very normal Icarus. Yeah, exactly the kind of bus which takes you to places beyond your understanding if you carelessly fall asleep. Haha, I gave a nervous chuckle, ah. It came out by itself, sporadically, because it wasn't a right place or time to laugh. But where on earth is the driver? I cautiously sat down on the curbstone beside the bus and started waiting. My patience didn't last long. My anxiety seemed to have reached the top, and I started going slightly mad. In such a situation, anyone would have probably felt something similar. Aliens and parallel universes were gone from my imagination, leaving only void and darkness. Is this how it will all end? How my life will end? But I wanted to do so many things that I had no time for yet. I was taken over by the idea that was definitely the end. But why? It's not fair! Surely I'm no worse than anyone. God, why? Bad end. Tears were burning my eyes unbearably. I curled up and started rolling in the grass. Why? What did I do? Why me? But my outcries were only heard by speechless statues of pioneers and a bird on the tree, which immediately flapped her wings and took off, having cried something in its own bird language, as if laughing at the idiot who dared to interrupt its after-dinner nap. At last I was breathless with my weeping, and just laid quietly, sobbing from time to time. After a while, I managed to pull myself together. Mind cleared up a bit, as if terror and the fear of death gave me a little break. All in all, if someone wanted to kill me, what is all this for? Doesn't look like an experiment either. If this is some crazy coincidence, then it probably carries no threat. Anyway, for now, it seems there is no danger. The panic was soon gone. Of course, the blood was still pounding in my head, and my hands were still shaking, but at least I could clearly think now. Right now, there's nothing I can really change anyway. So no matter how much I think or get mad, it would only make things worse. There's no point making guesses until I get some facts straight. In any case, I won't learn anything by lounging around here. This camp, if of course it really is a camp, looked like the only place where people could be, so I decided to walk there, and hardly have I reached the gates when a girl came out from behind them. Of course she did, wearing a pioneer uniform. My logic didn't let me down this time. Then again, pioneer uniform in the 21st century. And then again, girls here? I froze, unable to make a step. I felt very much like running away. Running as far away as I could from this place, far from this bus, gates, statues, and far from this bloody bird with its siesta. Just run, free like a wind, faster and faster, waving to the planets passing by and winking to the galaxies. Run, becoming a pulsar ray, and turning into vestigial radiation, run to the face unknown. Run no matter where, as long as it is far away from this place. Meanwhile, the girl came closer and smiled. I could not help but notice her beauty, even though I was trembling with fear. Human instincts work despite of the consciousness, and while only 5% of the brain is responsible for cognitive processes, the remaining 95% are always busy sustaining life, and in particular, ensuring stable functioning of the hormonal system. I desperately wanted to get less complicated and stop thinking in formal quotes from the encyclopedia, so my thoughts appeared one by one, being stupid, out of place, as if taken from an internal monologue of a hero of some junky soft cover crime fiction book. A pretty Slavic face, long braids looking like 2 armfuls of fresh hay, and blue eyes in which you could drown. Whoa, it's pretty smooth. Hi, you must have just arrived. Reply. Yeah,